Okay, so I just wanted to kind of preload this yoga practice. It's evening time for me. So I'm going to actually read the notes that I put down for myself to preload the practice and let you know what I'm all about. So I'm really starting to become aware of my yoga practices, of being a way or a means to return to myself and inward. And I know that there resides in me just this quiet and calm because I've experienced it. And I feel like the busyness of my day and my job and my responsibilities, that when I come back into myself at the end of the day, that all of that can be just my experience that I had. And then I return to my source or my home. hOMe. So what I mentioned before, what I love about these practices is that they're valuable no matter what time of day. So I've just, for whatever reason, been quite consistent doing my practices in the evening. Just helps me shut off and also prepare myself for deep rest while I'm sleeping. And I did have some concerns with my sleeping patterns for a while, just being in my head too much. And so I really have to look at some of the things that I do to prep myself for sleep. So doing a practice of this nature, as well as, coming off my devices. I don't watch TV anyway, just to make sure that my mind has been shut off from the day and that I do get into a deep rest. But you could frame these practices to prepare for your day. There's no, if you've had, even a deep rest, but you want to just center in and be focused for your day, it can work for that. And also a midday pick me up. So regardless of the time, that the practices are just so essential and beneficial for our bodies, for healing, clarity, reset, and calm. So the practice that I'll share with you tonight is a little bit more in line with the spine. So our Sushumna, so we want to just find a balance out, right side, left side, as well as doing a little bit of work around the abdominal, which kind of reduces our vata. And our vata is something that is very external, and it's movement, and we want to kind of settle that down for our deep rest. So let's come up to standing. And I chose the practice to start standing because it is, if it's more of a midday practice for you or a evening practice, that it doesn't hurt to meet ourselves where we're at. So we don't rush, and then just sort of like really just lay down on the floor. So let's stand, mountain pose, and give yourself a nice shoulder roll. So as you open up, you might find that the back tends to arc a little bit. So just contain that by just lightly engaging through your abdominals, almost as if you're pulling the upper musculature toward the lower musculature. And so you could actually kind of consider this outer world around you. So arm's length all the way, that's your little bubble. And then beyond that, all that, the external, everybody else's little bubbles, and all of the little bubbles that you've met today. And a lot of times that has an impact on you, whether it's good or not so good. So now that's just part of your experience and your past. And now we're just kind of coming into where we are right now. So let's just bring the awareness to the breath, but also to our spinal column. Okay, and we'll do a few arm raises on our breath. So as you breathe in, lift the arms. Sorry that my hands are cut off in the video. Lowering down as you exhale. And one more time, oh, a couple more times. And just kind of sense now as you're breathing in that the spine, is just a column right through the center of you. And you could even think of it as a vase. And in that vase, you're breathing very evenly and fluidly as you breathe in and out. Okay, let's do 2 more. And then we'll just increase the length of the exhale. So let's do a 6 count exhale. And now increase to 7. Okay, let's just do 1 more and increase to 8. Okay, forward folding. So we'll pull those shoulder blades back again. I'm going to inhale here. I'm softening at my knees, forward folding, and don't increase the bend of the knees as you go deeper into the pose, but reach out of your lower back so that they're not rounding. Now let's pull up just to halfway only. So getting a nice long spine through that central channel, all the way out through the crown of the head, and then 1 more time go forward. And we can actually even bring the navel quite deliberately in and slightly up, flattening what I was saying about Avata. So just starting to decrease that energy or soften the energy. Breathe in and come back up. And forward fold again. Just bringing the energy down, I guess, would be the way to think about it. Breathe in up to that halfway. Now you want to have a nice long back. Crown of the head is just an extension out of your spine. Forward fold. Bringing the navel toward the back body. So that's Uddiyana Bandha. And then we'll inhale and come all the way back up. And then cycle through it 1 more time. So breathe in, come up to that halfway point. Oops. And then 1 more time back out over the legs. So remember that you're kind of reaching out of the lower back, so you're not engaging the upper back. And then let's stay for 3 breaths in that fold. Now, as you're folding, bringing your torso closer to the thighs, there might be a little bit of rounding once you get into the forward fold. And now let's do that 3 breaths where we increase the exhale. So inhale, on your exhale, 6 count. And then we'll do 2 more. Increase into a 7 count exhale. And then your 8 count. Okay, and then let's start to come up with a nice flat back. Breathe in. And then exhale. So there's always sort of this returning when we do a pose to our awareness. And that could actually be turning inward, remembrance of who you are. Okay, and then we'll move to a wider stance and we'll work with just some twisting. So we're going to bring the arms up, raising them just up to the shoulder height, soften in your right knee. And then we'll exhale and we'll twist to the right side and opening up on the exhale. Come on up, inhale, and then soften the left knee, twisting over to the left. So what I find that I do is that my hand can't go all the way to the floor on the outside of the foot. We'll go over to the right again, but my fingertips can. So I place my fingertips, use that as a little bit of a point of contact, and then spin open. And then this is a nice way too to kind of calm the energy at the navel, the scattered energy, which is what we're trying to contain now. And then let's go one more time to the right and one more time to the left. Now, let's breathe the arms up to shoulder height again. Exhale them down. And now we're going to inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And now we're going to exhale, start to forward fold, and then bring your left hand to the center right underneath your face. And then open, so your right arm now goes perpendicular to the ceiling. Still keep the right knee bent. And then on this next one, we'll reach the arm across. If you can, gaze to the hand that you're extending. And then we'll exhale, and then we're going to extend the arm back up toward the ceiling. Now, if that feels really jammed up in your shoulder, then place your hand on the sacrum and do the twist there, just rolling that right shoulder blade back. And see if you can just do 2 more breaths, increase into a 6 count, exhale, and then a 7 count. If it's too much on your neck to be looking up toward that hand, just keep your gaze down toward the floor, softening through the muscles in the neck. All right, great. So now we can just bring ourselves back up through the center. And then let's just bring our awareness back, or ourselves back into mountain pose. Just because there's something about coming out of a twist and just feeling that energy, because you can kind of feel it vibrating through your spine. As well as there's that decrease in all that kind of scattered energy, and that's at the navel center. So we'll go to the other side now. So widen your stance again. We'll breathe the arms up. You can gently lift the chin here. Now you start to forward fold, tucking the chin in. And this time the right hand's planting in the center. He's got his little bone there. It's making a noise. And then exhale into the twist. Now I'm reaching my arm forward, softening the left knee. And then I'm extending the left arm up again toward the ceiling perpendicular. Okay, 2 more breaths, increase into a 6 count exhale, and then a 7 count. Okay, now come back out, place both hands underneath your shoulders, press the palms to the floor. And then again, you want to kind of reach off the lower back so that you're not overly rounding the upper back and creating tension there. And then we'll sweep ourselves all the way back up. Make sure when you're coming up, it's a nice flat back. And then back into your mountain pose. Okay, so from here, we'll just widen the distance of our feet just slightly. And we'll do just some very gentle side bending. So I'm going to just keep my left hand on the left hip, and I'm extending the right arm up. So I'm going to inhale here, and then I'm going to exhale and just move over to the left side. Inhale, come up, exhale the arm down. And we'll go to the other side. So inhale, left arm raises up. Now we exhale over to the right, reaching off the waistline. Inhale, exhale the arm. Now the right arm comes up as we breathe in, and over to the left side as we exhale. Okay, one more time on this side, and then we'll do a hold. So left arm raises up as we breathe in, and then we exhale over to our right. Okay, so now we'll just go into the side bend, and we'll just stay for a breath. So let's lift the right arm up, inhale. Now exhale over to your left. Take an extra breath. Straighten up as you breathe in, exhale the arm down. Okay, and we'll do the opposite side. So left arm, hinge into the right. And inhale, straighten, exhale the right arm down, or the left arm down. Great. So from here, we'll do just a few dynamic chair poses. So we'll sink the hips. We're going to inhale and reach the arms up. And then exhale, keep your bum a little bit higher than the knees as you reach your fingertips forward of your toes. Dropping the crown toward the floor. And then we'll inhale and start to raise back up, pushing the weight into the heels. Second one. And then last one. Okay, so now let's come back to where we started. We started in mountain pose, and we kind of brought our awareness to that central column. And then let's just bring our feet so that they're planted evenly. And make sure you don't overly dip that lower back again. So just engage the musculature at your core. Inhale with the tops of your hands on the crown. And then on an exhale, press the palms away. So we'll do it 2 more times. So inhale. And as you exhale, cinch in the waistline. And this one will stay with the arms extended, pressing the palms toward the ceiling. Just a couple of breaths. Okay, lower the arms. And then let's just move on to all fours. Okay, check my video. Make sure you guys can see me as I get down onto the floor. So we want to position our arms right directly under the shoulders. And from here, we'll breathe in, lift the chin. Tuck the chin in as you go back into child's. Stay for a breath there. And just a remembrance of that's always calm and collected inside of you. And I like this one because we kind of have that capsule around us and I feel very safe in this position. So from here, let's bring ourselves onto the mat on our stomach. And we'll have our tops of our knees are on the mat. Stretch that foot out a little bit. It's cramping up a little bit. Okay, so now we'll put the tops of our hands on our sacrum. And we'll inhale and just come up. Doesn't have to be the deepest cobra or shalabhasana that you've ever done. And then exhale and bring your chest back down. So it's almost like we're trying to create a little bit of space in the vertebrae. Doesn't necessarily have to be really super high. In fact, we don't want it super high if you're compressing the vertebrae. So let's do that again. Let's inhale. One more time. And then take your time to rest. So let's release the hands from the back and let the arms come beside us with the palms facing up and just turn your left cheek on the floor. And so there's many reasons why we want to work with this awareness thing. So one of them particularly is just to make sure that we have no pain that we need to really move out of. So you want to be safe. Turn your head to the other side. As well as you want to, just be aware of how the body feels and the stagnation that's in some of these poses. And as we work through them, that we actually break down some of the stagnation. Bring your head back to the center. Okay, and now we're going to bring the hands back to the lower back. And we'll start to now bring the left leg up, sweep the right arm forward and lift the chest as well. Kind of bring that hand into almost a bit of a salute. So the right arm is up. Now I'm going to bring that right arm around, sweep it, and turn my right cheek to rest on the floor. Then we go to the other side. So now I'm bringing the right leg up, sweeping the left arm, do that little bit of a salute. So the fingers come up kind of to the temple. And then on your exhale, sweep the arm back, almost like you're sweeping it so that you're getting a little bit of length through the side of the neck. And then the left cheek goes to the floor. And then we'll do the other side again. And you'll probably notice now that the awareness is going to move lower into the spine at the sacrum. Okay, and then before we do a rest again, so we've done 2 on each side, alternating. So now what we'll do is we'll come to the center with our head, and then we'll just bring the chest up, both legs. Lower down as you exhale. Okay, and then one more time, both legs and the chest. Stay for an exhale. Then inhale again, and then on the next exhale, lower. And then what I'd like us to do is just place your hands by the chest, push into your hands, and then we'll come, curl the toes into the floor, and move to down dog. So elevate your sit bones high, press into the palms, let the heels descend toward the floor. And then on your last two exhales, really deliberately bring your navel toward the back body and slightly up. So as you're elevating it up, you might even notice that the pelvic floor also funnels up. And that's quite deliberate, again, because we're working with that Uddiyana Bandha to sort of flatten and calm down energy that's there, scattered energy anyway. And now let's bring the knees down onto the floor. And then we'll come onto our sit bones to the heels. So I know this is uncomfortable for some people. I'll show you what we will do. We'll sweep the arms from this hero's pose, and then we're exhaling and we're coming forward, sweeping the arms back. I'm going to turn my head to the one side, and then we'll come back up. And then we go to the other side. And then the variation of this is to do it on the high knee. Regardless of which one you do, we'll do two on each side. And then we'll just stretch the arms out, come back up to the all fours, and then we'll turn around and lie down on our back. Okay, and then once we're there, we'll place our feet on the floor. Lay ourselves down. And so we'll work with a technique now just to work a little bit again around this awareness around the navel center as a means to calm down the scattered energy, okay? So we do this through our bridge pose. So on this first one, let's just move into bridge. So we'll inhale, lift the hips, sweep the arms. Come down as you exhale, nice long exhalation, maybe a 6, 7, or 8 count. And now we'll come back up into our bridge. And we're going to exhale and come down again, but we're going to leave the arms extended overhead. And then on the exhale, very deliberately, we're putting the vertebrae down onto the mat one at a time. So you're really feeling that the navel or that musculature is pressing into all the internal organs. So then the arms remain overhead. And we'll do it 3 more times. Really try to increase the length of your exhalation. So that was a 6 count. Now we'll do 2 more, increase into a 7 and then an 8 count exhale. Okay, And then you can lower your arms. Draw your knees in towards you, one hand on either shin. And we'll just a few times do Apanasana. So as you breathe in, pull the knees away from you. And then exhale them toward you. Bring them toward you as you exhale. So since we have our hands on the shins, our arms are on the outside of the legs, let's grab a hold of our big toes. Now, if that's too far of a reach, then bring a strap and pull it around the soles of your feet. We'll inhale here, and then on an exhale, we'll straighten the legs toward the sin. So pressing into the heels. So the other thing is to, if you're reaching up to your toes with your fingers, and then it kind of brings your upper back up off the floor, then use the strap, because you're basically just disturbing the upper spine when we're trying to lengthen it. So let's just bend the knees again as we inhale. And then exhale and extend them away. So you're getting an extension through the spine, and with the exhale being as you extend the legs, the navel's moving toward the back body. So we're getting that attention toward that, eliminating some of those scattered energies that might be in us. We'll do one more time. As we breathe in, we'll bend the knees and extend them on the exhale, and then stay with the legs extended for about 3 breaths. Okay, and then we can release. And then just one more pose before we relax. Extend the legs out straight. Bring the feet or the legs together, flex the feet, and then bring the hands, tops of the hands to the crown. Push into your heels, inhale, and then exhale and press the palms away. Just 3 breaths there. Pushing into the heels, pressing into the palms. You'll probably create some length through the waistline. Really like that one at the end of the day, just really stretches. So it would be a really good one for the beginning of the day too. So now just come out of your pose and relax. So you can bring your legs a little bit further apart, let the feet just open to the side, and then bring your arms to the floor with the palms up, because that's going to help open through the chest. And then just close your eyes. So as you're in here for the first part of relaxation, I'll bring you into it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then you can decide if you'd like to stay a little bit longer or shut off the video, and that'll be your practice. But as we first get into it, let's just feel the breath of the nostrils and just feel that ascending breath as you inhale, descending back to the tip of the nose on the exhale. If you've created a little bit of relaxed energy about you, you might even notice that there's a heaviness in the eyes. And as you breathe in, it moves up toward that space between the eyebrow center. And then there's a heaviness and it moves inward toward the midbrain. And then it descends then back through the eyebrow center and out through the nostrils. You might even like to put maybe your left or right hand on your belly and just with that warmth of the palm, there's an awareness there. And just simply allow yourself to be in the experience. And that the postures that we did and the breath work that we did have allowed you to leave the busyness of your life behind, even if it's just for this short period of time. And you've come back to the remembrance of who you are. You've come back into your home, there where it's safe, there where you're just even guided by your own internal being. So just enjoy a few more minutes there or a couple more minutes there, if you so desire. And if you're ready to complete your practice, then just start to move your toes and your fingers. And then gently bend in your knees and roll into your side. And then eventually back up to a cross-legged seat. And I'd like us just to take out the last moment in this cross-legged seat, just to go back into, with the eyes closed, just mentally sense that's the column of the spine. And just sense this as I said, almost like a glass vase, and that it just feels just open and light. And you can feel the breath move up this central column. And it might even go all the way up from the pelvic floor upward, and you could even go up toward the crown and then back down as you exhale to the root chakra. So another thing that you might choose to do now is just turn off the video and stay for another few minutes, couple minutes, 10 minutes, just in your cross-legged seat, breathing up and down the spine and leading you into meditation. And if you're finalizing the practice here, let's bring the hands together at the heart and lower the chin. In me, there is a light that lights the whole world. It radiates truth, boundless will, action, and knowledge. Namaste. Okay, thank you all very much for practicing with me, and we'll see you next time on your mat. Thank you.